Property relations between husband and wife. Articles 74-148, Family Code of the Philippines. The Family Code establishes rules for property relations between spouses, ensuring fairness and order in the management, ownership, and disposition of properties during the marriage. The choice of property regime can be made through a prenuptial agreement, or the default regime under the Family Code applies. 1. Prenuptial agreements, Articles 74-77. Definition: a contract entered into by the future spouses before marriage to determine their property relations. Key rules. 1. Formality must be in writing, signed and executed before the marriage. 2. Registration must be registered with the local civil registry and the registry of deeds to bind third parties. Contents specifies the regime of property relations, e.g., separation of property, absolute community, or conjugal partnership of gains, without prenuptial agreement. If no prenuptial agreement exists, the default property regime is absolute community of property, ACP, under the Family Code. 2. Rules governing property relations, Article 78-80. Choice of property regime. Spouses may choose one of 3 property regimes. 1. Absolute community of property, ACP. All properties become joint-owned. 2. Conjugal partnership of gains, CPG. Only profits or earnings during the marriage are shared. 3. Separation of property. Each spouse retains exclusive ownership of their properties. If no agreement is made, ACP applies by default. Modification of property regime can only occur through a judicial order and with justifiable cause. 3. Donations by reason of marriage, Articles 82-87. Definition: donations made by one spouse or a third party in consideration of marriage. Rules. Exclusion from community property. Donations are generally exclusive property unless expressly stipulated otherwise. Revocation. Donations may be revoked in cases of legal separation due to the donee's fault or marital unfaithfulness. 4. Property relation systems. A. Absolute community of property, ACP. Articles 88-104. Definition: all properties owned by either spouse before or during the marriage form one community property. Key features. 1. Ownership. All properties are jointly owned, except those excluded by law, e.g., inheritance or personal gifts. 2. Management. Both spouses jointly manage the property. 3. Dissolution. Upon dissolution, e.g., death, annulment, the community property is divided equally. Exclusions from ACP. Property acquired before the marriage. Property acquired by gratuitous title, inheritance, or donation. Personal and exclusive property of each spouse. B. Conjugal partnership of gains, CPG. Articles 105-133. Definition: spouses retain ownership of their separate properties, and only the income or profits during the marriage are shared. Key features. 1. Separate property. Properties owned before the marriage remain exclusive.